Hey everyone, I'm thrilled to be here today to introduce Calvient's new Practice Inbox, an AI-powered fax intake module that will help you wrangle that fax inbox, get it under control, saving you a ton of time and saving you a lot of money. And we're going to jump in and show you a demo of how these things work. But first of all, what's the problem? What are we solving here? Well, you get too many faxes. It's 2024, I know, right? We're getting too many faxes, but we are. And because of HIPAA and other reasons, faxes are just an embedded part of healthcare processes, and it's a process that is due to be fixed, to be updated. It's a tedious process. You have too many faxes coming from too many places. You have multiple fax lines, multiple providers, multiple technicians, multiple senders, all of that rolling together into a process you need to maintain and take control of. And the cost of a mistake is very high. Some faxes are urgent. Some contain multiple documents. Sometimes a single fax transmission will contain multiple patients, and the risk of making a filing mistake is significant. You might miss a critical referral or a critical diagnostic test coming back that you need to report to your patient. And on top of that, it's all incredibly time-consuming. Taking that document, splitting it apart, even if you have a digital fax solution, you know that takes a lot of time to read through every page, pull out the patient data, and then put it into the proper category, file it into the chart under the right patient and under the right folder. Too many faxes, too much time. What can we do about it? And that's where Calvient Practice Inbox steps in. Our tool is an AI-powered auto-indexing tool that will take your faxes, automatically sort them, automatically pull out the correct patient data, the document type, and will put it in your EHR with one click. Now that sounds like magic. So how do we make that work? Well, trick number one is it's more than just OCR. We can take a page with handwritten information or with typed up information that's been faxed to you. We can pull out that information, but we're not just reading the words on the page. We're actually using our own AI process to pull that data out, to understand it, and to infer important pieces of information about that document. Who's the patient? Who's it from? What's the urgency? What are the ICD-10 codes? All automatically. You don't have to touch your keyboard. And then with one click, you can send it to the EHR. We allow you to search across one fax or a host of faxes, and it's more than just a word search. You can think, I remember seeing a fax that had the word critical on it, and the ICD-10 code was I-25. You can search that, and we can pull that up instantly across a host of thousands of faxes. And it's more than just a PDF viewer. You can intelligently split this document into the multiple document types and even multiple patients so that you can get that document properly sorted and ready to go to the EHR with just that one click. So how does it work? Let's jump in and take a look. All right, we've logged here into the main part of our application, and I'm going to go over here to the Document Inbox tab on the left. Now you'll see a few things here that I want to point out around the edge of the page to show you what they are. First of all, on the left-hand side, you have search filters. And here we have my inboxes. Now, I have no inboxes selected, which means I see everything. But if I wanted to come here and say, I only care about the Lawton inbox, I can filter them down. If I want to add the Norman inbox, I can add that as well. These inboxes map to one of your fax numbers, or it could just map to a folder or any concept you have. But typically, this will map to a fax number. I can add my inboxes that I care about. I can remove them. If I remove them all, I'll see everything. I can also filter by document types. If I'm only curious to see referrals or prescription authorizations, I can filter those down and see those. And then finally, I can also see the assignees. If I want to just see mine, I can click mine and see mine. I'll click on this to assign a few documents to myself. And now, once I click mine, you'll see that it filters down and just shows my own. I can just show the unassigned, or I can go back and I can show them all. Here at the bottom, we have a search anything feature. And as we mentioned earlier, this will search not just the names of the documents or the types of documents, it will even search into the documents themselves. So you can rapidly find documents from today, from yesterday, from a long time ago, just by using a search term, just like you would with Google. And then up here across the top, we have upload document. Not every document you get will come to your fax machine. Maybe most of them do, and we'll automatically pull those and file these into the list. You get a fax, it automatically shows up on this list. But maybe you're emailed a document or you're given a document in some other way. You can upload a document by clicking this button, picking your PDF, uploading it, and it will be in the system, and the AI will start processing on it. So what do we have here in the main screen? Here I've preceded this list with several faxes that we've loaded. And one thing you'll notice is that it's already pulled out the patient name. It's already pulled out the referral type. Humans don't have to go in and do that. Our system will read your fax. It will automatically make that determination. And if you want to just go through and assign some of these to yourself or to others, you can do that just to make sure there's none unassigned. To open it up, you'll double click and you'll see your fax here on the left-hand side, and you'll see all of the data we pulled out on the right-hand side. So our system converted this to text, it read out all of the information, and it pulled it automatically here into the right-hand side. You can see we've already identified this information from this document. Now, this document may contain multiple pages, and maybe I want to split them into multiple documents. I can go to this view up here by clicking the grid, and you'll see now that I can quickly see all of my pages. Well, if you work on this all the time, you'll get used to knowing what certain documents look like from certain providers. So I know that this first page, that's the cover sheet. Then we have a demographics page. I'm going to split that up. These next two, that's an office visit with lab results. I'm going to leave those together as a single document. And lastly, we have the insurance information. So then I can come here and specify what I'm seeing. And you can specify what patient and what document type it's for. In fact, if we find out that this is for another patient, I can change the patient for this last document, because sometimes you'll get two patients in one fax transmission. And when I'm done, I'll simply click Mark as Reviewed, and it will send this off to the EHR for the patient already identified, putting these documents into the appropriate folder in the EHR. It's that simple. And when you're done, you can just move on to the next document and continue to work that list. If I go back to the list, you'll notice that my patient fell off the list. We're no longer tracking them. If I wanted to pull up another document, let's say I want to look at Mr. John Snow here. I'll just double click on him. I can click on the grid, and you can see that I have multiple document types. In fact, my eyes tell me that I probably have multiple patients here, because this is a second cover sheet in the same transmission. So I'm going to click this button in between these and split them into two. I know they're separate patients. Of course, I can go back and zoom in and look at the documents if I needed to. I know that this is my cover sheet. I know that these are my insurance cards, and I know that this is the set of lab results. I've quickly, rapidly split this document into multiple parts. Now, let's say it's not John Snow. Let's say it's someone else. I can actually search for the patient against my EHR, and I can find another patient to associate this to. It's that simple. It's that easy, and I can send it on to the EHR with one click. Of course, I can change the assignee. I can change the status from routine to urgent, etc. I'm going to come back to my list now. You've seen the patient information is updated. It's shown that I'm assigned to this. It's that simple to keep track of my documents and to get them into the EHR with just a couple of clicks, because we're automatically pulling all of that data out. Now, you may say, how do I manage this system? Let's say I add new fax lines. I want to keep track of those, or I want to add new virtual inboxes. Maybe I want an inbox called Lawton Email. You would come here to the configuration section, to our referral management portion, and you can see all of your fax boxes here. I can come here and say, we have a fax at the Tishomingo office. It's 580-555-1234, save, and all of a sudden, if I were to come here, I could add the Tishomingo office to my list of inboxes that I'm tracking. Of course, there are no documents in this inbox. It's empty. And so that would be what you would see in that case. Of course, I could upload a document here, select Tishomingo office, select my document, and just like that, there it is, and the AI starts its work. All right, we've taken a look at the demo of the Practice Inbox application. There's a handful of questions that we hear that we want to make sure that we answer up front. Question number 1, can I keep my fax number? The answer is yes, you absolutely can. And you might be thinking, well, I have a digital fax inbox solution already, where maybe my faxes come in not to a fax machine, but they come in via email or to a folder somewhere out on Windows that I can pull up and see my faxes. And if that's the case, if you have a digital fax system, you can even keep that. Our system can sit on top of that as well. And if you want to keep your digital fax system, that will even get you a discount with our product. Question 2, the big one. What EHRs do you integrate with? Well, we can support any EHR that supports HL7 or the document part of the FHIR spec. So that opens up probably to your EHR. But specifically, we have direct integration options with Oracle or Cerner Millennium, and with Veradigm and TouchWorks. So if you're using one of those EHRs, we have a very rapid way we can get stood up on your system quickly without a lot of hassle. But if your EHR supports HL7 or the document portion of the fire spec, we've got you covered. Question number 3, how do you keep everything secure? Those magic tricks we talked about earlier in the presentation. How does that all work? Well, we keep your data secure because it never leaves our 4 digital walls. The AI model, the OCR process, all of that runs inside of our system. We're not giving your precious data over to other partners. It stays with Calvient and we keep it secure. So what next? If you want to see a personalized demo of our solution, email us at contact@calvient.com. You can also go to calvient.com and click the Contact Us button and fill that out. We'd be happy to set up a personalized demo for you or for your organization. If you want a price quote, just email us, contact@calvient.com, and say, hey, I represent an organization. We have so many providers. We receive an estimated number of faxes. How much would it cost to use your system to save us time and money? Just let us know. We'll get you over with a quote. Really appreciate your time today. I'm excited to see what Practice Inbox can do for your organization to save you precious time, precious money. No more tedious tasks of sorting those documents, shuffling those pieces of paper. It's all simple with Practice Inbox. Thanks for joining us.